So, we are here. I'm finally doing it. I am doing the AMA. I promised I would. I said I would. No one can say that I didn't do it. I am here. I am doing it now. So, I fielded these questions looking in the Discord community. I just asked people to ask me a bunch of things. There are people who asked multiple things, and I'm going to answer all of them. Every one of the questions that I got. So, I'm just going to go through them and answer them as directly as I possibly can. Some might take longer than others. Luckily, none of you guys asked weird things, so that's all good. Well, mostly no weird things, but either way, it should be fine. So let's go over some of them, shall we? Alright. So, here we go. First question. So, from Dane Nero, why the name Arthas? Okay, so this is asking why the name Arthas from the comic Hallowed, which is my whole thing. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you guys already know about this. So the main character's name is Arthas, and why is actually kind of funny. So, I had a friend who really loved World of Warcraft, and the name Arthas is in World of Warcraft. It's the guy that picks up the evil demon sword, becomes the Lich King. I really like that name. I also really like King Arthur. And I thought, well, okay, Arthas is just King Arthur. That's slightly changed. But I want to do the name Arthas, because they don't fucking own that. That's not theirs, so I want it. So I'm just going to change how it's spelled. So I just changed how it's spelled. But yeah, I just think it's a really good name. I've been really attached to it for a really long time. And yeah, it's because of Warcraft 3. And you know what? I have zero regrets. At all. If anyone ever tells me that I'm not creative, you have proof. There you go. Alright, next. From Arlen. How does it feel to be wonderful? You should answer that question, actually. You know what? No, you're wonderful. Also, it feels amazing. I wake up every morning, and I think to myself, damn, nothing could have killed me yet. That's pretty cool. It feels pretty cool to be wonderful. But you're the real wonderful people. Arlie, you're wonderful. And everybody out there in the community, you're wonderful. And I say that with full confidence because I am nothing special. I am a mirror. I reflect. I reflect all of the beauty that comes at me. Y'all are fantastic. From Cuttlefish. What's another word for synonym? Thesaurus. So, okay. From Axo. Smash or pass Zavok? Hold on. Okay, let me look up Zavok really quick. Zavok. Okay, so I'm gonna be 100% real. You're a disgusting pervert. You're a sicko. Smash. So, Arthas, soon to be Lich King, former Prince of Lordaeron. I believe I've already covered this. Which 3 books would you take to read in a deserted island? Okay, so this I actually have been asked many times before, and I have an answer for this, okay? How to Build a Life Raft, a Dummy's Guide, Island Survival, a Dummy's Guide, and 101 Ways to Escape a Deserted Island. I'm not staying on that bitch. I'm getting off the island, alright? Those are my 3 desert island books. I'm showing up at home. I'm going to be getting the fuck out of there. From Dane Nero, favorite junk food, but describe it like a Bloodborne boss. Oh, you beauteous thing. Oh, treasure that I have long since missed. How you complete me. There is nothing sacred left in this world. There is no goodness, no decency. But there is you. Sweet, fleeting joy. Escape from this wretched prison. From Eric Knox, what is the comfort food you would have any chance you get? That is Thai curry, specifically red curry. I fucking love red curry. I love red curry or Panang curry, or really any burrito. There's a lot of comfort foods, but I'm gonna go ahead and go with Thai curry. Red curry specifically, halfway to the maximum spice at any area. Usually I like it right in the middle. I like chicken, and with extra chicken and extra rice. That is my go-to comfort food. It is delicious and I love it. What is my favorite fictional spaceship? Okay, this is a difficult question, but if I had to pick any specific ship that would be like my all-time favorite, it would most likely be Moya from Farscape. Like, the Moya is one of the best things I've ever seen. I love Moya. She's a living ship. She can go faster than light. She's really cool. She can speak to you. Again, she's a living organism. In lore, she was designed by a species of gods to, like, travel peacefully through the universe and experience all of creation. Moya is awesome. I would specifically want to be on Moya. I love Moya. She is my favorite fictional spaceship, most likely out of any of them. A close second, purely based off vibes, right, is I would say like a TIE fighter. Like, there's a specific version of a TIE fighter I really love. Like, I just love the aesthetic of it. It's this one right here. It's not quite Vader's TIE fighter, but I really love this aesthetic in particular. Not the one with the big, like, shields on the side, like the one that's sort of like almost a tube, kinda. I love it. I forget the exact style of TIE fighter that this is, but this is a close second. But Moya is the one. Moya is the one in my heart. Okay, this is from Dan again. You probably have mentioned it beforehand, but for those who may have recently joined the cult and are listening to this Q&A, what is the origin of my goblinoid design and why settle on it? Here's another one for you. Okay, okay, so my design really evolves over time, and I know this is breaking kayfabe and everything, but the origin of it is a combination of things that I love about characters in fiction, as well as an idealized body for myself. So I didn't settle on this design initially. I knew I wanted to get a goblin or an imp, right? And like eventually the horns and the tail and everything came in, but really it's just a bunch of stuff that I like the fur around the jacket, the leather jacket. It's a thing I actually wear, is a leather jacket. I wear a jacket pretty often in life. The little pumpkin guy that's on the fur, the haircut and the horns, all of these things sort of picked up over time and have rolled into the current design. I'm working on more ways to evolve it because it's a reflection of me as a person. It's just who I am internally in the most maximalist way. That's how I design a lot of different characters. They're aspects of myself or ideas that I have that I want to render in a very maximalist, like, how do I make this person inseparable from whatever the idea or part of myself is? How can they become the most of that thing as it is? And because Tassifel, like the goblin design, is just me, and I'm a person walking around living and stuff, that's why this design is the way it is. That's why it's changed over the years, and that's why I am who I am now. And no doubt it'll change more in the future, but the digitigrade feet, the tail, the horns, the ears, all of these things will probably stay, like, permanently. Because, again, it's the things that, like, stick with me. I hope that answers that question. Steak or lobster? So, for me, it's always going to be steak, because I've had very bad experiences with lobster. I've had lobster cooked improperly. I've had steak cooked improperly. But I find that people are more able to cook a steak than they are able to cook a lobster, right? Like, they're more on the ball about lobster, or about steak. Lobster, it's not complicated, but people pretend like it is, so they never end up looking it up, or like they get tricked into thinking it's complicated. I've had really good lobster. I do like lobster. If I could have both, I'd have both, but it would go steak. Also, steak, medium well. I will not have it with steak sauce or ketchup or anything. I prefer it grilled if I can get it, over charcoal, because I enjoy that flavor. If I can get it over bichotan charcoal, I want that. But generally, when I eat steak, it is medium rare at the most. I never go blue or rare. That's too much for me. I will usually have it seared in a pan. I like a good Maillard reaction. I like a good crust. I have it seared in a pan and basted in butter with rosemary, thyme, and garlic. Is usually how I go for it. It's like traditional restaurant style. I like it with a side of mashed potatoes or a baked potato. And if I can get it, like some asparagus or some broccoli. I've cooked it enough myself for me to like have that be my go-to. And also, what are my favorite things to put on pizza? So this is controversial for a lot of reasons, for a lot of people, but it's my pizza, and I don't yell at all of you about your choice of pizza unless it's deep dish, because deep dish isn't real pizza. It's an abomination and an affront against joy, frankly. But I'm not going to get into that right now. So, favorite things to put on pizza. First off, I like my pizza as a flat New York traditional style pizza. I don't like stuffed crust generally because it usually ruins the texture of the crust. I am a crust girly. I like the crust of a pizza. I need it to be garlicky all the way through. I like very large slice, very flat slice, very foldable slice. If you can't fold pizza and eat it with one hand, I think you fucked up. Now, if you can eat the pizza with one hand, like Detroit style deep dish, that's good. I like that. But you should be able to fold a piece of pizza, right? Like, you should be able to fold that triangle with your hands. Now, what I like on it, pepperoni, pineapple, and jalapeno. Now, shut the fuck up. I know what you're thinking, okay? Just stop typing or commenting. Listen to me first. I don't like it when it is raw pineapple. You need cooked pineapple, as in grilled pineapple. If you get grilled pineapple, the mouthfeel works and the flavor works absolutely perfectly. I would recommend grilling the pineapple ahead of time. Take pineapple rings, grill them on a grill over an open flame, specifically something that is a charcoal flame. You could use a propane flame if you want to, but get them grilled, then chop them into pieces and put them on top of the pizza. It'll dry out the pineapple enough for it to make sure that it imparts the flavor without making the pizza way too juicy or like drippy, which is nothing good. Nobody likes that. Now, the jalapeno and pineapple play into this. So when you're eating a pizza, I usually just go with a red sauce and like a traditional cheese blend. The cheese is savory. The sauce is slightly sweet with a little bit of tangy spiciness on it when you're making good pizza sauce, all right? Now, the pepperoni is savory with a mild hint of spice behind it, okay? If you cook the pepperoni right, there's a little curl at the edges, you got a little bit of crispness to it, it matches with the rest of the dough of the pizza. So you have a little bit of crispness on the bottom of the bottom of the dough. Now, the pepperoni is spicy with a little bit of sweet, right? Again, cooked right, a little crisp, a little spicy, a little sweet. Now that pairs with the pepperoni. The pepperoni is paired with the sauce and the cheese, right? And cheese can be a little bit sweet, a little bit savory. Then you get the pineapple in there, which again, I already told you how to make that. That's going to be sweet with a little bit of tangy bite. The pineapple, the pepperoni, and the jalapeno all work together with the flavor profile of a good red sauce and good cheese on pizza, making a unique flavor profile and unique experience that is, to me, my all-time favorite pizza combination. My mouth is watering thinking about it. Now, it's not for everybody. I know people are sacred about this stuff. For me, that is the ultimate expression of a pizza. A close second is, and this is me getting super bougie, artichoke hearts, pesto sauce, moss blend for the cheese, like specifically moss and pepper jack, if you can get pepper jack inside of the mozz for the cheese, but also straight mozz is fine. Honey roasted chicken and sun-dried tomatoes. Get all that in a single pizza. Baby, you got a stew going. It's delicious. It's amazing. All right, I've answered the question. We're moving on to the next one. Another thing. What are things that should never be on a pizza? Mayonnaise and peas. If you put mayonnaise on a pizza, you deserve to be tried for war crimes. You are inhuman. There is something wrong deep in your soul. Like, I don't know what 14th century colonial British soldier has just fucking staked up inside of your essence that you would think that it is in any way acceptable to put like peas and mayonnaise on pizza. I've seen people do it. It's disgusting. There's something British in your tongue and it's wrong, and not good British. Not the kind of British that are buddy-buddy with the French. I'm talking about the racist British. I'm talking about like, you have like Tory flavors as like your focus, okay? You're the kind of person that thinks that you need to have like foie gras and caviar to dip your Ritz crackers in. You're wrong, and I don't trust you. The revolution will not spare you, and the bite of the guillotine may be the only thing that could save your forsaken soul. Okay, what are my 3 favorite precious or semi-precious stones and why? Fire opal, ruby, and peridot. So fire opals are my favorites of all time because they're really pretty, and I like shiny pretty things because I like shiny pretty things. I like pretty things and I want them. Give me a fire opal. I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it. There is no other explanation other than that. I like fire. I like opals. I like fire opals. They look like somehow you've trapped a psychedelic rainbow fire inside of a pearl. It's beautiful. Rubies. Rubies are pretty, and they remind me of love. That's it. Rubies remind me of love. They're sappy. They're beautiful. They're cool looking. Red is my favorite color. Rubies are cool. And peridot, because it is my birthstone. I was born on August 31st. To my knowledge, peridot is my birthstone. And also, I like the funny little Invader Zim alien girl from Steven Universe. It's very funny, and I like her, and she should kiss the sad blue alien rock. Space lesbians are amazing. Next question. What are 3 places I'd like to visit outside of North America? Australia. Absolutely. I need to go to Australia. I need to dip my tootsies in the waters at Bondi Beach. I need to go to Bluey Land. I'm going to Australia before I die. I have to. I feel a deep urge to go to Australia. There are so many people that I love that are in Australia. There's so much about Australia that I absolutely adore, whether it be the climate, the animals, the environment. It is fascinating. It is a diverse biome. It has an incredible history. The Aboriginal art that has come out of Australia speaks to centuries of art history that I am not all the way familiar with, and that fascinates me even more. I want to dive into it. Every time I learn a new thing about Australia, about the history of the continent, about the animals that are there, about the environments that's there, I am fascinated more and more, and I want to visit. And it is also one of the most stunning places I have ever seen in my entire life. You look up pictures of any beach in Australia, and it looks like something forged by the gods. Like, it's stunning and gorgeous. And people meme and they make jokes about, oh, everything there will kill you. Dog, I'm an American. I'm not fucking scared of this shit, okay? I gotta worry about stray AK-47s blowing my fucking brains out if I go to a movie theater. I'm not scared of a snake, okay? Also, I grew up in fucking Nevada. Ooh, there are snakes there. Yeah, dog, if a rattlesnake bites me or a black mamba bites me, I'm probably gonna die either way. I don't give a fuck if one's more venomous than the other. That just makes my fast pass to the pearly gates if a snake gets its fangs in my legs a little bit easier of a transition. Oh, they have giant spiders. I was raised around wind scorpions that were as big as my fucking hands. I don't care if big spider. I've seen the things. I ain't afraid, okay? Also, Australians say the word cunt a lot, and cunt is a very chocolatey, delicious word, and I like it. Okay, second place I want to visit is Ireland. Now, Ireland is, without a doubt, a land that seems to have come out of the sea, formed of beauty and grace and precious history, and then all of that was ruined by the British. Now, I'm not a big fan of the British, not just because I'm an American, but because I have a heart and I'm a trans person. Now, the British occupation of Ireland is something I'm very familiar with. And also, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this, please, give Ireland back to Ireland. Get the crown out of Ireland. The Queen is dead. The King will be soon. Abolish the monarchy. Britain, your country is fake. You've ruined everything, okay? Britain, sorry, I'm gonna throw some strays here. You are a country that still has a king and queen. You are not a real country. You fairy tale land bullshit. Leave Ireland alone. Leave the land of fairies alone. A pox upon your fucking house. A pox upon all of the evils that have been done to anybody who's done the evils upon Ireland. May the Fae grace your home with blight and destruction. Ireland is gorgeous. I want to go to a pub. I want to go on a pub crawl. I want to see the moors. I want to walk all around Ireland. I want people to yell at me in languages I don't understand. I want to be cold and shivering and drink a hot cup of cocoa on an Irish morning. I want to see the ocean crash against the rocks. I want to go to Ireland because Ireland, every time I look at it, I feel a little part of my soul call to that spot. Same with Australia, right? And it's not a connection outside of, like in some ancestral way. It is just me looking at a place and seeing some of the most beautiful things that I've ever seen, and something about it, and it's some ephemeral thing about Ireland makes me want to be there in my bones. Same thing with Australia. And lastly, and this is because I am a 34-year-old who grew up on Toonami, I'm a massive fucking weeaboo. I want to go to Japan. Specifically, I need to go to Osaka. I need to go to Osaka. They have the best food there. I'm going to Osaka. No one can stop me. I'm going to Osaka. Also, I don't just want to go there for tourist stuff. I want to go to Japan because I want to go to Japan. I want to see the countryside. I want to see the country. Japan is another one of those places that, to be perfectly honest, has been over-mythologized a lot of my life by myself, when I was younger, and a lot of people, but at the end of the day, I am still in love with the history of the country, just as I am with Australia or Ireland. It's gorgeous. You look at photos of these forests and hills, you look at this majesty of nature, you look at the architecture, the art, the culture that has been there since the beginning, either when you get down to the indigenous population of Japan, or to the culture that was formed afterwards through the Warring State periods, out through the foundation of the official like empire. And I'm not going to get into the whole history of Japan right now. You can have a Bill Wirtz video for that. But the point is, I'm a weeb. I'm not going to act like it's not cringe of me to be a weeb, but I want to go to Japan. I want to. So much of the media that I love, so much of the things that I have connected with come from creators in Japan, whether it be Berserk, the incredible work from Kentaro Miura affecting all of my artwork to this day and showing me just how powerful stories can really be, and also giving me a lot of reasons to keep on kicking, or it be something like, and I know this is going to sound cringe, okay, just shut up. When I was really little, I grew up in a really bad environment that was really hard to get away from, and some of the things that brought me joy were things like seeing Goku beat Frieza. When I saw Goku beat Frieza for the first time, I felt something that I still feel today, which is this hope out of despair. And I've unfortunately, for a lot of people, tied that very heavily to making that trip to this country. But that evolved a lot over the years. Like Akira Toriyama, Osamu Tezuka, Osamu Dazai, Tite Kubo, Kentaro Miura, Iraqi-san. Like, all of the manga that I read, I don't just read because it's anime. I love comic books. I love the history of animation. I love these things. I make comics, and this is the place that made some of my favorites. I need to go. I need to. And Osaka I really want to go to, specifically because, again, I'm a foodie. I love food. I love I want to go to Osaka so fucking bad. Plus, I hear that Osaka is a fairly, I've heard that it's a very good place for first-time tourists to visit, but it's on that list. I've rambled long enough. I'm so sorry. Okay, go on to the next thing. There's a big question you asked. Okay. Okay. From Dane, out of the things in your past, what is it you often miss? This could be a food item, a hobby, a pastime, a game that no longer has support. Okay, so I know I just said I rambled a lot, but okay, out of the things in my past, what do I miss the most? I often miss. And the simple answer to that is every day I spent with my group of friends. Dane is actually among them, but it's hard to know when you're living the good times, right? When you're around people who understand you, who get you, who you just connect with. And I was lucky enough to be aware that I was living in the good times. And God damn it, there's a lot of people that I miss. And they're still around. They're still out here across the world, but we're older now. We're scattered to the winds. I don't know if we'll ever see each other again, some of us, but every time I listen to Come Sail Away, every time I watch Dead Leaves, every time I play Guilty Gear, every time I get my ass kicked in Smash Brothers, every time I go for a walk, I notice that some people are missing. And those are the people that I want around me again. Now, for their own anonymity, I'm not going to name names, but they know who they are. I'm still in contact with a lot of them. But there's just some snapshots in time, some little moments in the past that are as beautiful as you remember them, even if there were darker times ahead or darker times behind. Sometimes you just have moments where you're with your friends, and you know that you're going to love these people for the rest of your life. So yeah, I miss them. What are some cursed food combinations you swear by? Peanut butter and hot sauce. Okay, toast 2 pieces of bread, get chunky peanut butter, any kind, but make sure that it's chunky, and get specifically Frank's hot sauce. Put a spoonful of Frank's hot sauce across the top of the peanut butter and eat that. It's delicious. I'm objectively right about this. It's bizarre, I know, but peanut butter and hot sauce, I don't know what it is. Something about it is good. Also, I would say something like, ooh, I like to dip my french fries in ice cream, but so does everybody else. Peanut butter and hot sauce is one of those things you need to try, okay? Dead serious. Go get some bread. Make sure that it's like wheat or white bread. It doesn't work with rye. It doesn't work with sourdough. You need like a neutral tasting bread. And you put some peanut butter on that bitch. Chunky peanut butter specifically. You need the mouthfeel. Put some hot sauce on that motherfucker. And if you want to, add a little bit of jelly, but make sure it's a jelly that pairs well with the hot sauce. And trust me, you'll change your fucking life. What's my preferred boob size for myself and my partner? Okay. I don't have a preferred boob size for a partner. I like all boobs in general. I like boobs. I like boobs. I like little boobs. I like big boobs. I like flat chests. I like a big stack. I like to squeeze them. I like to feel them. I like to touch them. I like to flick them. I like to kiss them. I like to hold them. I like to have them. I like to see them. I walk around. I notice boobs. I love the boobs. Boobs are good. Look, I love boobs. Boobs are amazing. Boobs are amazing. I love boobs on men. I love boobs on women. I love big juicy pecs on men. I love big juicy pecs on women. I love boobs. Boobs are amazing. I love them. Big jubbly wubbly milk jugs, big humunga bonga dongalongas. I love boobs. They're fantastic. So I don't have a partner preference. But for me, I would want my boobs a little bit larger, I think. Right now, I am about at a double or triple D. I would like to get to like, I want to say like a double E at most, but like an E cup would be kind of cool. I think that's the one that's right after triple D. A little bit larger. I want big boobs because I feel empowered by them and I feel very comfortable with them. I want my boobs to be a little bit bigger, but I also just really love my boobs as they are too. A lot of my growth as a person has been about radical self-acceptance. And so, like, me wanting bigger boobs is, you know, in line with that. But I got pretty big boobs. I would want bigger ones. If I can, I would like to get breast augmentation surgery, but only very slightly, to go up at least 1.5 sizes. Okay. Next question. From Cuttlefish again, what are my 3 favorite artists of the 20th century? Okay. This is an unfair question. However, I'm going to default to the answers that I feel most exemplify who I am. And I'm going to very doggedly stick to a particular field per artist. This is subject to elaboration and change, with some exceptions. But the one that I will always say is one of my favorite artists of all time, who is unimpeachable in my eyes, is Jack the King Kirby. Jack Kirby was one of the most incredible artists I have ever seen. A supernaturally gifted, dedicated, brilliant, consummate professional. A man who was so in love with what he did that he brought it with him wherever he went. There are stories I could regale you with. There are actions he personally take or beliefs that he had that I could say, but it goes beyond the man. His art in and of itself is a canon of true, excellent understanding of what makes an artist. Art is nothing without a voice. Now, that might sound like I am against the direct interpretation of reality. I am not. I am against the rote repetition of an existing style for the sake of appeasing those who like that style. And Jack is the opposite of that. Jack created a canon, a language to comic books that transcends so much of what you might expect. And it might sound like I'm overhyping him. I'm not. As somebody who makes comic books, I study Jack not just because I love his stuff, but because if you study him, you will learn where choices matter, where your flair will shine the most, and what bits you can abandon, just like he did, to make your voice more heard. Jack's the king. Unimpeachable. Endlessly in my heart, I use him as my true north whenever I think of how I should try to progress as an artist. In all fields. Writing, drawing, whatever. If you can, say a little something for Jack Kirby today. Now, other artists, Jack would be the top of the top. But in addition to that, and I don't want to stick to comic book artists, so I'm not going to mention Kentaro Miura, Oraraki, and that's Berserker JoJo. Although they are very obviously people that I talk about all the goddamn time, I'm going to give you a broader scope of those artists. So another artist who is one of my favorites of the 20th century, and this does count, acting is an art, is Nicolas Cage. And you might think, oh, Nick Cage, he's bad in things. No, hold on. Nick is another one of those people that I see as a truly beautiful artist because he does not do the things he does on screen on accident. He is acting with direct intent and purpose. It doesn't always work in the projects he's in, but he is doing it in a similar way to how Jack does it. He acts with intent and with focus, and his style is uniquely his. Whenever I see Nick Cage in something, I know it's going to be fun, at very minimum, or brilliant. And I love how he performs. I love the weird expressions he pulls. I love the inflections he uses. I love that when you see him act, it is uniquely him. For me, I think he is one of the best modern actors, and this is an artist that I love. And I know people might not like it, but not liking something doesn't mean that it's bad. He is clearly incredibly talented and incredibly dedicated to his craft. I love what he does, and I love that he has a bit of a renaissance now where people are recognizing that he is an amazing actor. I love his work. Go watch Mandy, watch Willy's Wonderland, and watch Color Out of Space, Top Head. Those are 3 movies you'll love Nick Cage in. He's fantastic in them. Okay, and lastly, an artist that I would really love. I'm trying to think of another field that I could really say that I adore in particular. And let me think. I don't want to just like go with another visual artist. I'm trying to think of a musician in particular that I keep on coming back to. Okay, so I didn't really get into them until my early 20s, but I would say My Chemical Romance, specifically Gerard Way's vocal talents and his lyricism are really powerful to me. And him as a writer, his work on Doom Patrol, his work on the Umbrella Academy, his writing is unflinchingly weird and unflinchingly emotional. So I grew up during the big emo boom, right? Like, I was one of the day one emos. I never really got into MCR because, long explanation broken down, I was ruthlessly bullied, and being into any band that I wasn't already into, that I didn't already have the tracks of, would mean that I would get bullied for it more. So I avoided a lot of emo bands, even though I really, really loved them. But like, when I listen to Gerard Way's music, like his lyrics, or when I read something he wrote, he's the kind of person I want to write like, in that there's such a bizarre, unique identity to it, you know? Like, he just kind of flows in all of his stuff. Actually, I have a couple more that I want to add onto this too. I know you said 3, but I'm going to give you 2 more really quick. But yeah, I love the voice that's there. I love what Gerard does, and you're seeing a trend here, I think. The other 2 that I want to mention as a quick shout out is Grant Morrison, who is one of the best comic book writers I have ever seen in my entire life. They are my non-binary icon. They are incredible. Read anything Grant Morrison has ever written, and you will see a master of the craft. And also, I would say Robert Eggers for direction. Eggers is one of my favorite working directors right now. His complete and total, clear-eyed, understanding of what he wants to communicate on screen, his unique choices, his period work, his dedication to authenticity while still maintaining the mythical elements of the stories he's telling is truly stunning. I love Eggers' stuff. I'm super excited for his new movie. But yeah, okay, I'm going to jump to the next question. Next question. Black Rose again. If you could resurrect one person to have dinner with, who would it be and why? My mom. My mom. Okay, pull it together. My mom. I came out after my mom had already gone. I just wanted to know that she has a daughter. I would just want to tell her that. And I want to... I'd want to show her that I turned out alright. Yeah. Love you, Mom. Next question. Okay. What is the meaning of life? Okay, so I could say a lot of things, but I'll give you a straight answer. This is all about authenticity. Life has no inherent meaning. There is no such thing as a meaning to life that exists in the universe prior to your conscious observance and interaction with it. Life is simply a chemical agitation of liquid and dust that exists in a causeless, baseless, pointless, endlessly spiraling universe that need not have happened. An endless turning of events, tumbling throughout the ages of unknowable, unperceptible eons, time beyond time, knowing so vast you cannot comprehend the knowledge of knowing, forgetting so thick in this fog you forget what forgetting is, an endless eon, endless in that it never started and never will end. Being is, simply put, it is, and it does not care if you live or breathe or die, it continues yet still, and meaning is not something that is there. A tiger does not ask for meaning as it wakes. A sheep does not ask for meaning as it sleeps. A animal does not ask for meaning as it looks at each dawn. It simply accepts that it is. Humans look for meaning because humans ask for permission. Humans ask for an excuse, a reason, a path, a structure. Sometimes they ask for a dedicated cause or a justification or something to explain, to rationalize, to understand. But in reality, there is nothing. It is an endless echoing call we ourselves make to the universe seeking an answer, and any meaning you get back is another voice in that infinite cacophony answering. That is to say, your meaning is yours. If you wake up one morning and you decide that your meaning is to make it tonight and make it to your bed again, that's your meaning. If you wake up one morning and you decide that the meaning of your life is to put a smile on people's faces, that is your meaning. Meaning is an intensely personal, philosophical structure you apply to your own life that you carry forward with you. And I believe that goes for all religions, all philosophies. To me, I think the meaning of life is simply the permission structure or goal list or rule system that we provide adherence to as we live. It is, as with all of these things, a religion or a philosophy. You know, meaning is our imposed structure on an otherwise ambiguous universe. And I think that that's beautiful. Next question. Will we ever see Arthas and Kamu, how Arthas and Kamu met? Okay, so I can't spoil anything, but yes, you will see how Arthas and Kamu met each other. That I can say is a thing I plan on showing. I will be making a thing for that. I will not tell you how it is explained or where it shows up, but you will see how Arthas and Kamu meet, and it will tell you a little bit about both of them. Thank you for asking that. I love talking about my comic. I'm going to stop myself from spoiling things, but yes, you will see how they meet. Next question. Gravemind Pestilence. Oh, by the way, that last question was from... Oh, sorry. Next question. From Liliana. Will we ever see how Arthas and Kamu meet? I already answered this technically, but I didn't read the name, so I want to say it again. Yes. Yes, we will. I will not tell you when or how it will come up. I will tell you that I plan on showing you guys how Arthas and Kamu met, and it will tell you a little bit about both of them. I will not keep talking about this as I did with the other questions, though, because I will end up spoiling things on accident, and I don't want to do that. Thank you for asking. Please ask me more questions about my comic. I love it. Next question. From Gravevine Pestilence. Why brain hurt when smart question? Brain hurt when smart question, because smart question big, and brain only as big as question, so when big question ask, brain get big to answer big question, because brain need room to hold big question, and that make brain stretch, and brain stretch it go, ow, ow, it hurt, ow, and that's why brain hurt when smart question ask, because smart question, big question. Thank you for smart question, my brain hurt, owie. Next question. Alright. Okay. Next question. Which boob is best boob? My girlfriend's boobs are best boobs. They're the best boobs, and I like them. I love them a lot. Thank you for asking. Next question. Thank you, Rika. From Thulu Flower. What is your favorite TTRPG? If you had basically unlimited money, what is one thing you would spend more time doing and why? Okay, so I'll answer the first thing. Favorite TTRPG, that's real tough. That's a tough fucking question. I'm like all the TTRPGs are just flowing out of my skull right now. Like I'm losing all of them right now. Oh god. Let me look at my list. Okay. I would say that I've played Pathfinder the most. I would say that. Like, I've DM'd Pathfinder the most. That alone is probably, like, the biggest indicator, right? That it's probably my favorite because it's one I'm most familiar with. But, like the cheap answer is for me is just to say, like, anyone that I'm currently playing. But I think my favorite right now is, probably Vampire the Masquerade. Because I really love melodrama, I really love vampires, really anything in the world of darkness. I really like that. I really loved Prometheus the Created when I played it. I want to play more TTRPGs, honestly. Like, I don't know. I think my favorite doesn't exist yet, you know, and I'm excited about that. I think that one day my favorite TTRPG will exist. I don't know if I've played it yet, but I do love them. But my big problem is that I need to play them in person. Otherwise, I lose a little bit of the sauce from it. And I'm still trying to think of workarounds for that. Okay, and the second part of this question. If I had unlimited money, what is one thing you would spend more time doing and why? If I had unlimited money, would spend all of my time working on my comic, and working on cartoons, and working on shows, and learning how to make music. All I want to do with my life is make art. That is what I want to do. If I could simply have my rent and bills paid for the rest of my life, I would stream to hang out with people, and I would make art. I would draw my comic, I would write my comic, I'd write short stories, I'd learn how to make music, and I'd make music. I'd make video games with my friends. I would learn how to direct. I would dedicate every day of my life to just making more art, because that is the only thing that I want to do. And I feel like I've wasted so much of my time working day jobs and, like, not doing that, you know? Like, so much of my exhaustion in everyday life and what has held me and many people across the world back from diving into everything they want to do isn't laziness, it's exhaustion. We're all tired. If I could have all my needs met and I could just do what I want, I would just be making stuff. That's all I want to do. That's all I ever want to do, is just make things. I want to make art. That's all I want, is just that. And, like, I play games to take stress off, obviously. I like playing video games. I like that. But when it comes to doing something that I'm held back from because of, like, money and like, time, it's that. Like, that's it. And that's the answer, you know? Make my comic book super famous, please, so I can make a full-time job out of making it. It's called Hallowed. It's cool. The whole first issue is online right now. I'm writing the second issue right now. It's really cool. I promise you'll like it. I promise. It's so cool. It's all my favorite things in one comic book. and I keep making them. It's fun. I like it. Please look at it. I love you. Okay. All right. And that is our whole Q&A. That is the whole thing. Oh, sorry. Hold on. All right. That is it. That is our whole Q&A. That is all the questions that were sent in. Thank you guys. I had a lot of fun doing this. I'd love to do more of these entirely. This is fantastic. If you have more questions you want to ask me, ask away. You know, I'll do another one of these as soon as you guys give me enough questions to really fill them out. I'll probably put a little bit of time in there. But if you want me to answer a particular question and, like, put it up, just ask me and I'll record an answer. Like, if you want to know who I think would win in a fight or what I would do if I had a certain kind of set of powers or whatever, or if you have any kind of questions, just ask. I'll make a video for it. Thank you for listening. And, okay, I love you. Bye-bye.